Well,
Well,
that happened.
I'm your co-host Connor.
And I'm your co-host Dylan Inman Mitchell.
You don't have to take my last name and shit.
Like, being your daddy is all about taking your last name.
No.
Stepdaddy. Okay, I should
Oh,
probably
no.
refrain from yo mama jokes.
Probably. That'd
Probably,
be best.
yeah. Cut that out. Just.
Yeah, take it. Cut it right out.
But not the part where we're talking about making a yo mama joke. That's gonna stay in.
Oh.
Yeah. Just so she knows we made one, but she doesn't know what it was.
Yeah, she doesn't know exactly. Well, we went mudding in my Jeep today. That's pretty fun.
I didn't expect it to surround your Jeep like saran wrap
Dude,
that.
there's so much mud.
Dude, it was flying at us in chunks. I thought it was gonna be I don't know, how the little how pieces of wood get thrown about during tornadoes, and then the smallest piece of debris can become a bullet.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I thought was about to happen to that mud. I thought it was about to shoot straight through that goddamn Jeep. I thought it was about to take out the tires.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just the tires. not the windows or the
our faces.
Yeah. Just the tires.
Just the tires.
I like your hand movement there. I mean, you really
I talk with my hands. I'm a very expressive person.
Describe the situation properly.
Yeah,
how you're.
What was it? A bit like this, Connor? Was it a bit like this?
No. It was
Remember last podcast?
All right. You need to shut the fuck up.
Why? Because I talk with my hands. What do you want me to do? Work with my hands?
Yeah.
Down
and dirty.
Down and dirty?
Yeah.
With my hands?
Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. The song.
You did not just make a JoJo reference.
I did make a JoJo
on
the podcast.
On the podcast?
On the podcast.
You made a JoJo reference
I made a JoJo
on
reference
the podcast.
on the podcast.
He made a JoJo reference on the podcast.
Yeah, I did.
Hey, cool hat.
Oh, you mean my titties hat? You wanna go get it?
I will wear it for the remainder of this podcast. Well, you got a small head.
It's quite an excellent hat, if I might add.
You know what? Just
Nah. I need you to scoot over. Give me personal bubble.
Yeah,
shit.
I got it.
Yeah. You got it. Now move your leg.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
God,
You
how could I forget elementary school?
Yeah, elementary school, dog. This is elementary shit.
Remember in elementary school when they'd make you they'd get kids to shut up by making them do this.
Yeah, DuckTales of Bubbles, where you would put your hands behind your back like a ducktail, and then you would to make a bubble with your mouth so you couldn't talk. Dude, what we also
Shit
did
hurt
was,
my cheeks.
What we did was fingers and zeros.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely do fingers and zeros. My fucking history teacher, she still does the fucking high five thing, where she's just everybody shut up.
I remember I have very strong, vivid memories of elementary school.
Yeah.
And I remember specifically walking through the hallway after me and a whole bunch of friends got in trouble.
Yeah.
And we were walking behind the principal like this, and we couldn't say a word. And I remember one of my friends turned around to me and he went, "Hey!" And the principal looked back, and then we all shut up. We were just standing there, looking at this ginormous man, who, at the time, our principal was Mr. Reister.
Yeah.
He was this magnum opus of a giant. He was huge. Like, he wasn't, like, bulky big. He was, like, slender, like, skinny and tall, like Dylan.
Dude, like Vice?
Like Vice.
Like Vice.
He was tall as shit.
Dude, if I had Vice as a was he bald? If it was like a bald, chiseled Vice, that would be terrifying.
Yeah, just about. It was just about
like that. No.
He was a scary man. I remember
scary.
One of my friends, I'm not going to say who, but he got into a fight with Mr. Reister, and
Dog, why you have to call me out like
Nah, you didn't even go to Pleasant Grove.
I wish.
He turned to Mr. Reister, and like they were arguing about something, and I remember he looked at him and he went, "Fuck you," and then kicked him in the balls. He kicked the principal of the school in the balls.
Principal of the school.
Yeah.
Dude, what was wrong with that kid?
Well, he has.
So this
ADHD.
was in elementary school.
This was elementary school and stuff. He was unmedicated for ADHD and stuff like that.
Oh, so it was me.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't you. It was another one of my friends at the time.
I know.
He's probably the smartest person I've ever met.
So it was me.
It wasn't you. You're fucking stupid.
Oh. Continue with your story about how you pissed on my... Oh, wait. Never mind.
But Mr. Reister was still, like, the most, like, goated elementary, like, principal I've ever met. He was awesome.
My elementary school principal, whenever I was, I believe it or not, I went to elementary school. I wasn't just in Oklahoma the whole time fucking around.
No, that sounds like you. You were definitely just fucking around in Oklahoma.
Well, I didn't go to preschool.
Oh.
So I fucked around my preschool year.
So that's why that's why you are the way that you are.
Anyways, I'd rather talk about our middle school principal, because the elementary school teacher, she was just like, I don't have a single word for her because I forgot her name and I don't even remember her. But our middle school principal, I don't even remember if he was a vice principal, but he was like this. He kind of looked like Donald Trump whenever he was like young. He looked like young Donald Trump. And he'd command the masses. And every time he walked by, you'd piss your pants. Unlike the real Donald Trump, he's not that intimidating.
Was he like Moses? He'd part the seas and shit.
He would part the seas. Like, people would fucking stay out of his way. Unless if you were like one of the suck-up kids. In that case, they'd go right up to him and be like, "Hi." And he'd be like,
"The fuck did you say to me?"
You haven't been an ISEP. It was like in middle school you'd separate everybody from the kids who got ISEP and the kids who have never gotten it in their entire time at middle school.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I went to ISEP, I thought I was like the worst person in the world, and that everybody would frown upon me, and that I'd never get anywhere in life because I got to ISEP, because it went on my permanent record.
Your permanent record. They told you that it went on your permanent record?
They did tell us it went on.
Oh my god, I remember.
They're fucking assholes for it, too.
Yeah, I know, because whenever I was in elementary school, which I have another story about being in elementary school, but whenever I was in elementary school, I have a friend, still a good friend of mine to this day, Tony.
Yeah.
He was sitting behind me, and we were in this, like, reading circle. We were reading a book, and Tony decides to take his hand and, like, wrap it around my head and put it in my mouth. And then he kicked me, so I bit his hand very, very hard. Like, his index finger to his thumb. I just bit, and I remember there was a line. You know whenever you bite your skin really hard? You get, like, the teeth line where you can see a perfect... It was like that, except it was... except it was, like, starting to bleed. Yeah. Because I bit him that hard.
Jesus.
Because I was pissed off because he kicked me and he put his hand in my mouth.
Like, so you, like, fucking...
Yeah, I went crazy. And,
dude, that would have hurt.
I remember Tony... He looks at his hand, he goes, "Ow! Miss Underwood!" And Miss Underwood comes over and he shows her his hand, and I was like, Miss Underwood, it's not my fault. He put his hand in my mouth, and that settled like what was happening. And Miss Underwood gave us both ISAP. Me because I bit another student, and Tony because he put his hand in my mouth, and we both got like, I forgot they were. We called them burrs in middle school. They were like behavioral referrals.
Mm-hmm.
And in elementary school, we had the same thing, except they weren't called burrs. They were called something else. But we both got one of those, and it's the scariest shit whenever you're like... Because I was like a good student in elementary school. I never... Like, we used clips. So if we did good, we got to clip up. If we didn't do good, we had to clip down. And the farther down you got, the worse the consequences were. And I remember the worst... Like, you could get all the way down to red. And once you got to red, you got one of the behavioral referrals. And I got one of these. And one of the biggest, like, worst, horrifying parts of it was you had to have your parents sign the bond.
Yeah.
And I remember I didn't even tell my parents about it.
I had, like, the same thing in, like, my old elementary school called Great House, except they would have stars instead of colors.
Oh, yeah.
You put stars in your folder if you had 3.
Well, yeah, but we had a, like, if we did bad, like, if we did something bad, we had to clip down to a bad color.
No, you'd lose stars.
Oh, okay. Well, ours was like, if you clip up, you get to clip up. If you clip down, you go down. But there's, like, multiple different levels.
I also had that in elementary school, too, but, like, that was in a different school. I don't know why. Anyways,
but
brother and sister.
The worst thing was that I didn't tell my mom about it because I was scared of what was going to happen. I was like, man, if I take this to my mom, she's going to whoop my ass. Like, I won't know what day it is. I'm going to be sleeping for, like, 3 whole days straight because... that bitch is going to give me the who's who. She's going to give me the 1-2. Because I brought home this behavior slip. And so I just stuff it in my backpack. And I get home. And nothing was said about it. She didn't know about it or anything. And then I have Boy Scouts with Tony. Like later in the day. And we went to Boy Scouts. And Tony's mom was so pissed with Tony. And she started talking about it to my mom and my dad. And they had no clue about it. So I remember right after Scouts was over, my mom, like, yanked me out of the classroom that we were in. And she was like, did you hide this from me? And I was like, yes. And she was like, oh, you're gonna get it when we get home. And then she saw another parent. She was like, oh, goodbye, Susan. I'll see you next week. And then she turned back to me.
I thought you were about to say, and she forgot all about it.
But she was like so pissed. And then we get home. She signs this fucking thing. And then she wears my ass out.
Yeah, it sounded like my parents too whenever that would happen. Except I did the same thing as you did, except I never got caught, and I always thought of it as, like, me avoiding, like, death. Like, I swear to God. And I always would brag about it to my dad. I'd be like, he'd be like, do you have any secrets from me? And I'd be like, I have one. And I'd always do that shit. And I'd be like, I have one secret that you don't know about, and I hid it from you successfully. And I'd literally brag about that shit. Well, see, except I would never, I was always too scared to throw it away because I was afraid they'd check the garbage.
Yeah, dude. I remember as a kid, if like I was trying to hide something in the trash, I would like move all the trash, put it in the very bottom, stuff all the shit on top of it, and make sure it was like packed down.
And
so
then they were going to like check a fucking piece of paper in the goddamn trash can.
Yeah. It was like the crazy shit that like we did as kids just to hide something from our parents.
Yeah.
Like,
would you ever like hide electronics like underneath your pillow? Like,
yeah,
you take it into your room and then like they'd walk in, they'd be like, "Hey."
Yeah, dude. I remember this one morning that like I was supposed to go to school and I had gotten an iPad for Christmas, and
it's always after Christmas.
Yeah, I woke up early because I was so excited to play with my iPad. So I woke up at like I think it was like 6 a.m. for
Yeah.
no reason other than to play on my iPad, and I'm sitting there, and my mom comes in to wake me up at 7:30. I'm already awake, and I hear the door crack, and I like throw my iPad under my pillow, and I climb like I'm asleep, like I'm a fucking zombie.
Dude.
And like, I mean, she wouldn't have cared if I was awake.
Dude, I would sit there and I would play dead. Like I could end up in the ER and not move a muscle just to get away with the fact that my iPad was underneath the little hospital pillow. I swear to God.
One of the things my parents always did, because they caught on to it, they were like, "Oh, I know that motherfucker."
Oh, they
right
always
there,
would.
He's awake.
You'd always go over. They'd always go over there, and then like they'd lean over you, and then you just burst out laughing.
Exactly. That is exactly what would happen. I would like crack my eyes open like this, and then I would just see my mom or my dad like peeking over, because I had bunk beds, so they had to climb up on this ladder, and I would hear them like take the ladder off and everything, and they would attach it to the other side, because I always climbed in on the bottom part of my bed instead of the top.
Yeah.
And I'd hear them attach it, and then I'd hear creak, creak, creak as they climbed up the ladder, and then I would just see one of them like peer their head over, and I would lose it, cause I don't know what it is about being a kid.
It's the anxiety.
It's like the scariest shit, but you laugh so goddamn hard.
I know. It's like how humans' like natural response to scary shit is to sometimes just start maniacally laughing.
Yeah.
Like ugh.
And my favorite part about elementary school, though, that was easily, like, that shit is the worst part about elementary school, because, like, you're so young, and you know that, like, if you do something bad, you're not going to get punished, but your parents are going to be very, very disappointed.
Yeah.
And that is the worst feeling. There were two things whenever I was growing up that I had. I had a Game Boy Advance, which, if you don't know, the Game Boy Advance, like the, not the flip-up one, but the, like, flat one.
Yeah.
Actually, I have one right here. Hold up.
You do?
Yeah, I have my old Game Boy Advance right here. It's got Yoshi's Island in it right now.
Yeah.
This right here. So it's the flat one, not the flip-up one. And if you don't know, for the Game Boy Advance, you need a light to actually play it, because if you don't have a light, you can't see the screen of it. So I had this little, like, device that I had made that had two clips that were on it like this, right?
Yeah.
And it would, like, flip up, and you could turn on lights, and I would just play this thing for hours.
That is awesome,
yeah,
dude.
because originally you had to have a light on to play it, and they made stuff for that, and I didn't have enough money to buy one, nor did I have access to the internet, because I had a Game Boy Advance, and I just, like, I tied some string with some sticks and put some, like, light bulbs on there, like the shitty ones that come in candles. But they were like the removable ones that you could just flick on in the bottom. And it was the best time. I remember staying up for hours playing that shit. And the other thing that I had were books. Yeah. Like, one of the series that I really got into was the, it's not Ook and Glook.
Ook and Glook?
It's not a spin-off series of Captain Underpants. Yeah. But it's made by the same person that made it. So it's the Flip comics, right? Where
it's just the Flip comics?
Well, no. It's not just the Flip comics. Like, it's the whole story of Captain Underpants, but it had the Flip comics in it. Where you would flip the page back and forth to see
I remember those fucking
like the
Flip
animation.
Comics,
Yeah. And I think there were 3 books that came out. And I would binge read them. Like, not even, like, one at a time. Like, I would finish one of them, I would start the next one, and then I would restart the other one as I'm reading the next one. And I read all 3 of them at least 10 times before I was out of elementary school. It's the same way with all the Diary of the Wimpy Kids stuff. Yeah. And some of my favorite ones were, like, since I had, like, a Game Boy Advance, and eventually I got a DS and stuff like that, they always had these cheat codes. Yeah. For it, and they were the shittiest cheat code books. Like, the shittiest cheat code books. I remember opening it, and it was like, they didn't have any like they didn't have something like Yoshi's Island for the Game Boy Advance. What they would have would be like Avatar: The Last Airbender and some really shitty knockoff game that no one's ever heard of. Like, they would put it in there, and it was like every single one of them, except for like there was a couple Crash Bandicoot ones and stuff like that. But specifically, I remember there was an Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I looked online because at this point I had also had my iPad since I got my DS.
It'd be like fucking Resident Evil cheat codes.
Well, no, it didn't have any. It just had like these shitty knockoff brand Nintendo game cheat codes.
Oh.
And I would always look through there and I would be like reading, and it was like, get to this place and you can glitch through this wall. And I would look up the games because I was like, well, I have all the cheat codes for this game. Let me look it up. And the game was like 3 cents. And I like, you would read the reviews, and the reviews were like, game came broken. It like the cartridge was completely taken apart. Some scientist like dissected this and like put it back together, and it like took it back apart and would just like leave it there. It was like it was the shittiest games, but it was like this cheat code book, and it cost $15. Like, I don't understand the point of it. And but they also had like some really good ones.
Yeah, like Link: The Last Airbender.
Yeah,
Legend of Zelda: The Last Airbender.
They had, at least for like, they had really shitty ones for like the DS, the DSi, and the 3DS, the Wii and the Wii U.
Yeah.
But they had really, really good ones for like the N64 and the GameCube specifically. And man, did I abuse the shit out of those cheat codes. And the posters, man. They were all the rage.
Yeah.
Like, I remember going in there, and the prime reason I would go in there was to get a goddamn poster. I'd go in there, and the first thing I would do is go up to the poster and be like, alright, I want these 3, but I only have enough for 1 and a book. So what I'm going to do is I'd haul all 3 of these posters with me, and I would look through them as I'm looking through these books, and I'd be like, well, this one's actually kind of shitty, and I would throw it back. And then I'd get down to 2, and then I'd see another one I'd like, and I'd pick it back up. Or I'd pick another one up, and I would have 3 again. And it was like, I would get to the checkout line, and the lady would be like, you want all 3? And I was like, no, I can only take 2. Which one do you like the best? And she would pick one, and I would be like, oh, okay. And I would pick the opposite, or like one of the ones that she didn't pick, and I'd be like, alright, I want this one, and then put the rest back. Just to fuck with the lady. And, like, buying the posters in the book, it, like, the best shit.
Yeah.
The best shit.
Yeah.
You're an asshole. No.
It was sarcasm.
Shut the fuck up.
I love
that. That was the most outplayed bit I've ever heard.
It was very outplayed. But dude, I fucking love these posters, actually.
Yeah. I got this poster actually recently. This Echoes from the Dark Side of the Moon. You can't see it the best because the camera's zoomed out. But we can pop a picture up.
Dude, we spent like whenever
Dylan first came over.
Yeah, we spent like
30
minutes looking through every single Pink Floyd reference on the poster. They gave like a little paper for it too.
Paper. We'll
I could show it on the screen.
We'll show it on the screen, but it says list of 50 Pink Floyd songs represented in the poster, and the poster name is Echoes from the Dark Side of the Moon. And there's 50 Pink Floyd references. And there's one part of the poster, which is my favorite, which is, there's a fishbowl on it, which is like, I don't know how well I can point to it, but like right here. And that represents Wish You Were Here, which is my favorite Pink Floyd song. I really like that poster. I
love it too.
There was a lot of work that went into that, like a lot of thought. And somebody worked really hard on that.
Yeah, no, they, it could have been multiple people.
Yeah, it could have been. It probably was multiple people.
Yeah, probably.
Actually.
Like, especially with how, like, expansive it was. It could have been, like, one person maybe drawed it or, like, drew it. One person came up with, like, the concept ideas. Yeah.
Because there's so much detail in that poster.
Yeah, it would have been crazy to just, like, do all that by yourself. If you did, then that's, like, awesome.
There's one part where there's this road that stretches all the way to the other side of the moon, and you can, like, see the individual people on the bridge. It's really cool.
Yeah. There's so
and
many
then
pigs.
I have this Iron Maiden poster right here, which I quite like. I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then the Led Zeppelin poster with Stairway to Heaven, which is my favorite Led Zeppelin song. I love Led Zeppelin.
I actually like Dazed and Confused so much because I just jammed to it for like 20 minutes. Anyways, continue the Jimi Hendrix, which I love all of his music.
I don't think they can... Oh, yeah, they can see the Jimi Hendrix poster on there. But you'll pop a picture up on the screen.
Yeah.
But this Jimi Hendrix poster I also like because Stone Free is one of my favorite songs by Jimi Hendrix. But I think my favorite song is Little Wings.
Little Wings?
Yeah, it's a good song.
I can't believe you made another JoJo reference on this
podcast. I wasn't sure if you'd catch it. But Stone Free is actually one of my favorite Jimi Hendrix songs.
Is it one of your favorite stands?
It's one of my favorite stands too. Actually, I hate Stone Free. The actual stand, it's dog shit.
Honestly, I couldn't agree more. Like, it's a fucking string.
Yeah, exactly. Like
first off, I love Jolene. Actually.
Yeah, Jolene.
Like, Jolene's awesome.
Hold up. Jolene, the only reason I don't like Jolene is because she's the only JoJo,
It's because she's a woman.
Yeah. No, not actually.
Shut the fuck up.
She's the only protagonist that wasn't able to defeat the antagonist. Like, out of the whole series.
Maybe we should put like a spoiler alert for the people who don't read the manga on the.
Well, oh. Yeah, you're right. Just flash it right now. After we settle
what
this
about
shit,
the people
right
who
now, flash it. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
We're dickheads. Spoiler alert. Speaking of being a dick, now I'm phrasing it like you. That phone call where Jake tried to call you.
So we have a friend, mutual friend.
Yeah.
Named Jake.
Yeah.
And he's
he's a dick to him.
Yeah, Jake, like. If you've ever seen the movie Home, there's this one guy in it named O, right?
Who's O?
O? He's the purple guy.
Yeah?
Like the squishy purple guy. Jake is O. Like, he's...
Oh.
Shut up. He's innocent. He looks like O. Because O is like this squishy, malleable...
By the way, Jake, we mean no offense to you because I know you're watching this. We love you.
But he's like this squishy, malleable little purple guy.
Yeah.
Right? And you can like stretch his face and shit.
Yeah.
And that's Jake. Definition of Jake. He's got big ass floppy ears.
Okay.
No, listen.
He hates it so much, but I go up to his
ears
and then I like fucking start flopping.
You creating lifted shit. Like you fanning people across the room with his ears.
Alright, we don't need to talk too much shit about Jake on this podcast. I'm sorry,
Jake. I love you a lot.
We love you. We love you, Jake.
So, last time we were trying to record this, Caleb, the whole time, he was just doing some dance routine. Like, you could hear it. Donk, 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 donk. The whole time we were trying to record. Like, you probably couldn't hear it on the mic, because the mic doesn't pick up, like, ambient noise.
Yeah.
But, like, me and Dylan, like, before we were recording, we were like, what is he doing? It was, like, 12:30 whenever we started.
I didn't even know it was Jake. Fucking, I didn't even know it was Caleb. I was like... I thought it was your parents that were still up until, like, I went up to go get something or some shit like that. And then I just see Caleb in the fucking living room going, like...
And, like, he's not doing it now, but he does this shit, like, all the time. Like, you wouldn't believe how common it is for me to, like... Especially with the past couple of days that I, like... At least this past week that I've been living down here. Caleb, like... I'll hear him sneakily walk down the stairs because he's not sneaky at all. Like you can hear his footsteps coming down the stairs. It's donk, 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 and that's the last step. And like you can hear him walk across the floor to right above us, which is where the living room is, and then he just starts dancing. Like he practices because he's in color guard and everything, and he practices color guard, and he's not doing it tonight, thank the fucking Lord, because we're trying to record it. But he does it all the fucking time. And it's...
Dude, like, It's not just because we're calling him out because he's like, we're not like making fun of the fact that he's doing like color guard or dancing or anything like that. We're making the fun of the fact that he's doing it at like 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, dude, imagine if you just pulled out your fucking horn and
Yeah, I
started
know, right?
playing it at 2 in the morning, dude. You get in so much
Dude,
shit.
I remember one night I was playing my horn really late, and my mom started yelling at me. She was like, "Connor, shut the fuck up!" And I was like, "Okay, Mom, I'll be quiet."
That is exactly how it happened.
That's exactly how it happened. One more topic.
And then she
for
found
this.
your DS under your pillow.
Oh, and then she found my DS, and I was fucked. Like, I was dead in the water there. I had no exit. Another topic.
Well,
that-
I know what we need to say.
Nick, go ahead.
Thank you guys so much for the support on last video. We didn't expect to get like, even like 10 subscribers for our first video, but we got 9 more.
19?
19. Yeah.
We got like 81 views as of making this video right now, which
we're not like fucking bragging about it being egotistical. We're just like, we're
surprised.
happy.
That was our first video.
Yeah, it was our first video.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you
very
guys.
much.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this video if you've made it to this point. It means a lot to us, and fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
all of you.
Fuck all of you.
And our last topic for tonight. All right. I have a problem.
He has a severe addiction.
Like it's bad because all of my money. I can say I spend probably in this past year at least $300-$400 on this product.
Dude, you fucking I think you own like 20% stake based on how much how much fucking shit you buy.
I own 25% of the company because of how much of this I buy.
They just don't know it.
Yeah, they just don't know it. They think that they're getting this massive sale burst, and like these past 3 years that I've been drinking their products.
Stocks are rising, people are buying. Let's go.
But it's just me.
It's just Connor.
100% of all the Arizona green tea that is in existence right now.
Dude.
Actually, speaking of it, you probably saw me take a drink earlier, but right now I have one big cup or bottle, and then I've got another 2 liter which I got
and it's
yesterday.
not just like he has these like cups and bottles and 2 liters for him to last like a couple days worth of Arizona green tea to feel his high. He buys he buys one of those like every other day, like one of those big ones. I swear to God.
The 2 liters I can go through in about a day and a half.
Anytime we're on a field trip, we stop by a gas station or some shit. Well, we don't really.
I get a green tea.
Yeah, he gets a green tea. He gets like one of the big ones too, like one of the ones that you can like hold your hand around, use as a butt plug.
Well, I usually get the canned ones
because I sewer gate.
I usually get the canned ones because the cans taste better, which is weird, but it's like an actual scientific study that the metal in the cans change the taste of the like the taste of the drink. Like the aluminum in the cans, it makes the drink taste different, just a little bit. But I like that taste better. It tastes better in a can compared to a bottle.
You're not pulling that out of your ass, are you?
No, I'm not. 100% not.
100% the aluminum.
Have you tasted aluminum? Like metal? You know that like taste that it gives off?
Not really.
Oh, well, like next time you get like a drink, rip that bitch open and like flick the fuck out of that aluminum, and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Huh. Well, I mean, I know I can't drink my coffee out of anything other than a metal cup. So
well, lick that.
Lick
Actually,
my coffee
lick
cup.
the.
My coffee cup's in your car right now.
Wash it and then lick the outside of it, and you'll see what I mean. Make sure it's washed though, because if it's not washed, you'll just taste everything.
Yeah, it's like you gotta blow into the butthole before you proceed.
I think that's about all the time we have for tonight. Our camera's about to die, and this has been going on for about 40 minutes ish. It will probably get cut down quite a bit.
The camera's gonna die.
The camera is gonna die, so we're gonna.
It's a dead man.
We're gonna head out for tonight, and I hope you guys have a good, safe rest of your week. hopefully we'll see you guys next week. And this was the Weekend Mic Check.
Connor, do you think I'm a bitch?
Yes.
Then why you fucking me like one?